Well, hello and welcome everybody to the Aspire Hub. It's Matthew Rowe, co-owner and also lead mentor with Aspire Career Services. So we're glad that you're in the Aspire Hub and really making the most out of your subscription with us. So today we're going to be talking about creative problem solving. Now, when you hear the word problem, most people associate that with conflict. And I want to kind of clarify that up front in this training module, that this training module is not about conflict. We do have a separate one that is about that, so go check that out if that's what you're looking for. This is whenever you encounter problems or challenges along the way when you're trying to achieve a objective or a goal and how to overcome those, but taking a creative approach. So let's get started. So up first is introduction. So the objective of this presentation or this training module is understanding the role of individual profiles in problem solving and how that can be super critical. And what are some of those individual profiles? Well, it's things like communication preference, learning style, appreciation language, and even Clifton strengths. And the goal is to enhance problem solving by personalizing approaches, right? Because when it comes to problem solving, there's not a one size fits all approach that works for everybody. It depends on the individual and what problem they're trying to solve. And that will kind of dictate the approach that we take to solving it. So here we go. The first thing is, once again, the communication preference in problem solving. So the definition, so your communication preference indicates how someone prefers to be communicated with. So once again, that is how you prefer or someone else prefers to be communicated with, really in any given situation. Application, we can tailor problem solving conversations based off of how they like to be communicated with. So let's talk about a couple of those communication styles. First, you have driver. These individuals prefer direct, concise instructions for clarity. So whenever you're having those conversations about trying to overcome a problem, you want to kind of get straight to the point with these individuals. But then also make sure you're very concise with your instructions for clarity for them. Next is analytical. So these people are more data-driven analysis and logical reasoning. So they're going to want to see facts. They're going to want to see information as you're having this conversation. You can't just approach it and wing it with these individuals, right? They want to know the whys behind the whats. Next is expressive. So enthusiastic brainstorming sessions. These individuals really, truly are stimulated by ideas, by excitement, by fun, through good exchange of information and relationship with the individual that they're brainstorming with. And then last is amiable. So this person prefers supportive and collaborative environments. This is really where relationships really do matter. Amiables really need that relationship in order to connect and be able to work through problems that are happening. So identify which one of these you are. And next time that you're in a problem solving conversation, take that into consideration. Make sure you communicate that with the people around you. But also, if you're trying to solve a problem on your own, make sure you understand which one of these you are. And if you don't know, I highly encourage you to take assessments through Aspire Career Services. And how you can access those assessments are just simply by signing up for either the growth plan or the leadership plan, where you're going to get monthly mentoring sessions. Inside those sessions, we give you these assessments so that way you know what your communication preference is, and we apply that directly when we are trying to problem solve with you as mentors. All right. Up next is the learning style and problem solving. So this describes how someone processes new information or behaviors. And how you can apply that is by customizing problem-solving techniques and learning based off their learning style. Let me show you what those learning styles are. The first is auditory. Discussions and verbal instructions. This is someone that really wants to sit down and just talk it out, right? Kinesthetic. This is hands-on activities and prototypes. These individuals want to take what they're hearing and seeing and actually put it into action in order to learn. And then logical, so structured problem-solving frameworks, right? These are the individuals that truly want steps. Step one, step two. Here's the framework. Here's where you can operate in, right? And then intrapersonal, independent analysis and reflection, right? These are the individuals that want to gain all the information, the material, and then go and learn on their own and take it all in and really do some deep diving and research. And then you have interpersonal. These are individuals that prefer group brainstorming and collaboration. They usually learn best when it comes to others. And then you have naturalistic. So these are real world examples and nature based analogies. So these are individuals that want real life examples that they can see out in the real world to be able to learn and associate what they're trying to learn or a new concept and basing it off of something else that they already know. And then last is social. So these are individuals that prefer interactive workshops and team based challenges. They really thrive in that social setting when it comes to learning. Now, here's the thing to keep in mind is that you might be multiple of these, and it's likely that you are. You might have one that's the highest, but you might have a couple other ones that are really high scoring. So once again, if you want to know what your learning style is or what your top learning styles are, sign up for a mentoring session or a leadership session with Aspire Career Services, and that's one of the first things that we do is really learning about you and what makes you up so that we can best serve you as your mentor. All right. When it comes to strengths and problem solving, so highlights how someone adapts behaviors to change and leverages innate talents. So, how that applies is you can leverage strengths for solutions and application. So what that means is now that I've identified what the problem is through my communication type, and then once I've come up with how I learn and start practicing that one on one or in a private setting, now I can actually apply it in the real world. And whenever I apply it, I'm really going to want to make sure that I do it based around my strengths. Let's talk about just a couple of these. Now, I will point out that there are several strengths. And this is not our own assessment. This is Clifton Strengths. So Clifton Strengths, we are at Aspire are a big believer in. And once again, this is also something through mentoring services that we will be able to do together. Is take a Clifton Strength assessment so we can tell what your top 5 strengths are and how we utilize them. Once again, in problem solving and giving you actionable insights. Once again, through our mentoring services, you're going to get so much of this. So let's just talk about a couple of them. The first is positivity. So someone that has positivity as their top strength, they like to create optimistic problem-solving atmospheres. And then you have woo. These are people that are building a network for collaboration and solutions. So they truly prefer, once again, being in that group setting. Communication, articulating ideas clearly and persuasively. And then includer, ensuring inclusive participation and problem solving. So once again, these are just examples. Oh, we got one more. Empathy, addressing emotional aspects and team dynamics. So once again, these are just examples of strengths. There are once again several strengths out there, but what you end up doing is identifying your top 5 and how that applies. Let me give you an example. So if I'm, let's say, teaching someone how to actively listen, right? And that is a skill set that we're working on while we're mentoring. An assignment or an actionable insight that I might give that individual to do until we meet again might be putting together a presentation on active listening and then teaching someone else how to do that through a presentation, maybe in a group setting, in a meeting, one on one, if their strength is communication. Because as you can see here, someone with communication, they are good at articulating ideas clearly and persuasively. So if I give them a solution that's going to be presenting to other people, that's going to fit right into it, and it's likely that they're going to really learn that new skill set of active listening as they teach it and as they present it, because it goes into it. Once again, empathy, addressing emotional aspects and team dynamics. So I could give them an active listening exercise that they could do in a group setting with their coworkers, where they could learn about their stories, learn about the things that they're going through in their professional career, and really take the time to listen and understand and gain a better understanding. Right, that would be an activity. Once again, if their strength was empathy, it would fit right in. All right, let's talk about the appreciation language when it comes to problem solving. This is the one that we forget about probably the most. So it indicates how someone prefers to be recognized and rewarded. Application, so it enhances progress and motivation. This is key and critical, guys. Whenever you're trying to learn a new skill set or when you're practicing something new that you have never done before, um, you need sometimes that little dopamine hit. Why do you think that phones are so effective at what they do? It's because it's those constant dopamine hits of reward, right? We all love to be rewarded and recognized. So that's what happens here is that whenever someone is making progress or whether you're making progress, you want to acknowledge or reward them based off of their appreciation language. So let's talk about what some of those are. The first one is acts of service. So acknowledging contributions through support. That's just what they want. They want someone to come up and say, "Hey, I've noticed how hard you've been working. How can I help you?" Right? Or I've noticed that you've been able to do X, Y, and Z. Tell me how can I support you in that? Quality time, focus meetings, and in-depth discussions. So these are individuals that truly want that one-on-one time. They're rewarded by just spending time with you. Or once again, if you this is your appreciation language and you're working through something on your own, reward yourself by going and spending time with someone that you really enjoy being in the presence of, whether that be your friend or whether that be a coworker, whether that be a spouse or someone in your family, whoever it is, reward yourself by going and spending time with them. Words of affirmation. So regular praise and positive feedback. These individuals truly need that affirmation as they're making progress. And then tangible gifts. So these are individuals that really want to celebrate milestones with small rewards, like their favorite candy or a meaningful gift based off something they're interested in. They want to know that you took the time to think about them and recognize them for their hard work and efforts. Once again, if this is you working through a problem on your own, then maybe if you notice that you made huge progress in a certain area, go out and treat yourself to something that you enjoy. And then lastly is physical touch. And of course, we put use with caution in there because it really depends on context and setting, right? But these are individuals that um, really receive appreciation through physical touch, whether that be a fist bump, whether that be a high five, a pat on the back, if the context is appropriate, a hug. These are individuals that truly need that physical touch to be able to really feel that appreciation for their progress. And once again, if that's you, go give someone that you truly love, go give them a hug, right? Or go high five everybody in the office. Whatever that looks like for you, that's going to really energize you if that's something that you are working on your own, and you're trying to reward yourself. All right. So here's the conclusion and next steps, guys. So integration. So leverage communication preferences, learning styles, appreciation languages, and strengths for effective problem solving. So it's critical that we take into consideration all of these things. And keep in mind, this applies whether you're working on something on your own, right? You're working through challenges and problems on your own, or you're working collaboratively with someone else, right? So if I'm working with someone else on something that I'm challenged or struggled with, I'm going to be sure to communicate these things to this individual so they know how to help me based off of my profile. Okay. If I'm helping someone else, I'm going to want to know these things about them so I can ensure that I'm helping them problem solve as best as I can based off of their profile. Okay. So once again, this applies whether you're working collaboratively or on your own. So application, assess profiles, customize approaches, and collaborate for creative solutions. Okay. Once again, it's critical that you find out what your profile is. And if you're helping someone else, it's critical that you find out what their profile is. And once again, can you go out on your own and do this? Absolutely, you can. But once again, we highly encourage you. If you're already inside the Aspire Hub and maybe you haven't signed up for mentoring services yet, there's a 30-day free trial. go check it out. I promise you, your first mentoring session, you're truly going to be glad that you did. Because we're going to start by getting to know you and start building this profile out and really understanding who you are and what makes you tick. But it's going to help you learn a lot about yourself as well. So sign up for it. Check out your first 30 days for free. Sign up for your first mentoring session and get started. And then last but not least, implement these strategies in your processes to empower yourself or others to drive success. This truly will help you come up with very effective solutions to overcoming your problems and challenges that you face on a daily basis. All right, that's it. Thank you guys so much. Keep searching and exploring around the Aspire Hub. Go check out some other things that interest you, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.